Thought. In the quiet town of Pinebridge, the Millers were a picture of peace. Eleanor and Thomas, in their late 60s, lived on an old farmhouse, their days filled with simple joys. Their greatest happiness was their 5-year-old grandson, Noah, who visited every Friday, his laughter echoing through the apple orchards. Life was predictable, safe, and warm. But the quiet was about to be broken. One afternoon, a stranger drifted into town. He called himself Caleb Rhodes, a man with a tattered coat and a backpack full of old papers. His past was a shifting story, his gaze a little too intense. The townspeople felt a prickle of unease whenever he was near. He wandered at night, whispering to himself, watching. No one could have guessed the darkness he carried with him. It was a perfect Friday. Thomas picked up Noah from school, the little boy buzzing with excitement for a weekend at the farm. At home, Eleanor was baking cookies, the sweet smell filling the air. As the sun began to set, they were a perfect family, caught in a perfect moment. They didn't know they were being watched. From the edge of the woods, Caleb's eyes were fixed on their home. 4 weeks, he had been studying them, choosing them. He wasn't after money or possessions. He was after something far more terrifying: control. As night fell, the family was getting Noah ready for bed when a soft scraping sound came from the side door. Thomas went out to investigate. A minute passed, then another. He didn't return. Chip. Eleanor called his name, her voice trembling slightly in the sudden silence. No answer. She opened the kitchen door, and her heart stopped. Caleb stood there, blocking her path. His eyes were wild, his hands shaking with a strange, manic energy. He said nothing, simply stepped inside and shut the door behind him, locking them in. In that split second, Eleanor's instincts took over. She grabbed Noah and raced to the pantry. Behind a sliding bookshelf, a secret space her husband had built years ago, she pushed the little boy inside. No matter what happens, she whispered, her voice urgent and low. Stay quiet. She slid the panel closed, just as Caleb's footsteps entered the kitchen. The hours that followed were a living nightmare. Caleb tore through the house like a storm, smashing furniture, overturning cabinets. He was searching, convinced someone was watching him, whispering to shadows only he could see. Huddled in the dark, Eleanor tried to stay calm for Noah, who clutched his toy dinosaur, trying so hard not to make a sound. There was no cell service, no way to call for help. The night stretched on, each creak of the floorboards, each muttered word from Caleb, ratcheting up the terror. As dawn approached, Caleb's frustration boiled over. In a fit of rage, he kicked the bookcase. The force of the blow dislodged the hidden latch. The panel slid open. Eleanor stood there, a human shield in front of her grandson. A twisted, triumphant smile spread across Caleb's face. He had found them. But before he could take a single step, the room was flooded with flashing red and blue lights. A neighbor, seeing Thomas's body near the fence line at sunrise, had called 911. Sheriff Green and 2 deputies burst through the door, their weapons drawn. They found Caleb standing over the terrified grandmother and child. He lunged. The deputies tackled him, and the living room erupted into a violent struggle. Caleb fought with a terrifying primal strength, throwing the officers off balance. For a heart-stopping moment, it seemed he might break free. But Sheriff Green moved in, landing a decisive blow that sent Caleb crashing to the floor. As he was cuffed and dragged away, screaming into the morning light, the nightmare was finally over. But the cost was immeasurable. Thomas Miller did not survive his injuries. Eleanor was bruised and shaken, but alive. Noah, though deeply traumatized, was physically unharmed. Their family was broken, but their bond was not. Caleb Rhodes was later declared mentally unstable and sent to a high-security psychiatric facility. His journals revealed a history of violent fantasies, a chilling pattern of targeting innocent families across multiple states. Weeks later, the Millers returned to their farmhouse. The silence was different now, heavier. They held each other a little tighter, locked their doors a little sooner. They watched Noah grow up, surrounding him with a love so fierce it could stand against any shadow. Their story is a stark reminder that sometimes evil doesn't hide in the dark. Sometimes it walks right into your town with a smile. But it also proves that even in the face of unimaginable fear, Courage and love can light the way through. Thanks for watching.